The silver pen my mother placed beside my dinner plate wasn't a gift. It was a trap. Across the table, 3 men in dark suits sat with open briefcases, documents fanned like evidence. My father studied his hands. My sister Caitlin wore the smile she saved for price tags. And my mother spoke the sentence she'd rehearsed all week: sign it, or walk out of this family forever. I looked at that pen for a long moment, feeling the weight of every dollar I'd ever handed over. I didn't reach for it. Instead, I said the one thing none of them had prepared for. And within 60 seconds, that room almost emptied. But to understand how I ended up across from 3 strangers with a contract, you have to go back to the morning I finally told my family no. Welcome back to Tranquil Drama Stories, a space for women who learned that love sometimes arrives with an invoice attached. Drop a comment telling me where you're listening from, and subscribe. The lesson I'm about to share took 36 years to learn and 1 dinner to finish. I keep a bookkeeping firm in Millerton, Ohio. I'm good with numbers. Numbers don't flatter, and they don't lie. My husband Marcus is a contracts attorney, steady, quiet, the kind who fixes the porch step before you notice it's loose. I married him 14 months ago at the county courthouse with 2 strangers as witnesses and diner pie afterward. No announcement, no ring at family Christmas. I kept him secret not out of shame, but arithmetic. Years ago, I brought home a kind school teacher. Within an hour, my mother asked his salary twice. My father called teaching a nice little hobby, and my sister laughed at his shoes. He never called again. So, when Marcus came into my life, I decided I'd never hand my family another person to price. They met him once and dismissed him as that paralegal phase. I let them believe it. It was safer. That Tuesday, my mother's name lit up my phone. I let it ring twice, a small rebellion, then answered. "Elena, sweetheart," she said, voice bright with that edge she used when she wanted something expensive. She announced my sister Caitlin was engaged to Julian Easton of the Easton family, who owned half the nice real estate in the county. "We're doing a real wedding, 50,000, give or take. The bride's family hosts tradition. You know your father and I are stretched. But you've done so well. You've always been our responsible one." Responsible Elish dressed as a compliment. When I hesitated, her voice cooled. "Family doesn't count the cost." That sentence always meant pay up. I said I needed to think. She heard a yes and hung up planning flowers. Marcus refilled my coffee. That night, I remembered the first time I paid a bill that wasn't mine. I was 17, had saved $230 for a class trip to Washington. I'd never been further than the county line. Then, the electric company sent a red ink notice. My mother cried at the kitchen table while 8-year-old Caitlin watched cartoons. I handed over the envelope. The relief on her face taught me being needed felt almost exactly like being loved close enough that a teenager couldn't tell them apart. By 18, my father's business had collapsed. Through community college, I kept books. And without anyone deciding aloud, I became the family emergency fund. Car repairs, tax surprises, Caitlin's braces. Her totaled car at 22, I covered it all. The bills grew because nobody else felt the weight. And the day you hesitate, you stop being a daughter and become a problem. 3 days later, a planning coffee. Caitlin spread printouts, a barn venue, a florist. My mother's legal pad had numbers, bottom line circled twice. "Sit. We saved you the good chair. Total, 52,400. That's higher than 50. Buffers. You taught us buffers. Since you handle money, you could just pay vendors directly. Keep it tidy." She was appointing me the bank. Caitlin looked up. "You don't mind, right? You don't have kids. What else are you saving for?" The old reflex rose. I held it behind my teeth. "Let me look at the numbers. I'll get back to you." My mother beamed. Driving home, shame sat in my chest. Marcus set down his pen. "Elena, you've been thinking about it for 18 years. What you haven't done is decide." Thinking was the long word for giving in slowly. I called Saturday morning. "Mom, I can't fund the wedding." Silence. "I'll give a gift like anyone, but I can't carry 50,000. It isn't fair." "Fair?" she repeated. Then Caitlin's voice, sharp. "You're going to humiliate me? It's just money, Elena. You're the only one who counts it. Every bailout, Counted by one person, now the villain. Yes, I count it. That's my job. She hung up. The silence was a wind-up. Within a day, Aunt Carol called worried. A churchwoman left a coached voicemail. My mother had mobilized a network faster than any wedding planner. People don't move that fast from hurt feelings, they move that fast when there's a deadline. I sat at my desk and got curious. Why 50,000? No date was set. My mother acted like the money had to be locked down immediately. I wrote 2 questions. What is this money actually for? Why do they need it before the wedding instead of for it? I pulled my parents' old tax files. 18 months earlier, a refinance, lower rate, she'd said. It had pulled cash out, a second mortgage. No new car, no repairs. Where had it gone? I built a spreadsheet. Income, expenses, and a whole tens of thousands with no explanation. Whatever swallowed that money was still hungry. And now, they needed 50,000 more from me. Fast. Then my father called. Voice rehearsed. We feel terrible. Family doesn't count the cost. A drum beat. He slid into a request. Tax season's coming. I'm doing a family filing. Can you send your social security number and old W-9? Just for the paperwork. I'd done his taxes for a decade. There was no family filing. Why do you need my session? A pause. The accountant asked. I said, send me what the accountant needs. I'll handle my portion directly. His voice tightened, but he let it go too easily. The second I hung up, I froze all 3 credit reports. Only one reason a man asks his daughter for her SEN, an assigned tax form. He wants to put her name on something. I laid everything out for Marcus. He listened, then took off his glasses. As a lawyer, what you're describing, the pressure, guilt, urgency, is undue influence. The SEN request worries me more. An old signed form and your number could be enough to attach you to a debt. Document everything. Sign nothing. The next afternoon, an unknown local number. Is this Elena Cross? Millerton Community Savings. Verifying details on a joint loan application listing you as co-borrower. The kitchen went quiet. I didn't apply for any loan. The woman, Martha, hesitated. It was submitted last week. You're listed as co-borrower and guarantor, pending your signature. Guarantor, the word my body braced for. I never signed. Freeze the application. I did not authorize it. I can't withdraw it over the phone with 2 named parties. You'd need to come in, and the other borrower would be notified. When could it close? Once signed. Within 2 weeks. 2 weeks, my mother's timeline. I hung up. They put my name on a $90,000 loan. As guarantor. Marcus reached for his legal pad. Then we find the application. Document you never consented. Putting your name on a loan without consent is fraud. If you've ever found your name on a bill you never agreed to, you know the cold I felt. Tell me in the comments if your family volunteered your money before asking. And subscribe. What I found in my father's office I still can't quite believe. I knew where my father hid things. The gray filing cabinet. Key in the pen cup for 20 years. I called my mother sweetly, said I'd been thinking. Maybe I could help in smaller ways. She purred victory. Come Thursday. Thursday, my father had VA clinic all afternoon. When I arrived, Caitlin twirled in a veil, looking so happy something twisted in me. I slipped down the hall, closed the office door. Bookkeeper's hands only shake after. The bottom drawer held a crisp new folder. Inside, the loan application from Millerton Community Savings. My father is primary borrower, co-borrower/guarantor, Elena M. Cross. My old address. My social in his handwriting. Signature line blank. Underneath, a bank letter. $90,000. Not 50. 90. The wedding was never the number, it was the cover. I photographed every page, replaced the folder, walked out smiling with tax files. I held it together until the car. At my office, I read the photos slowly. 2 truths. My parents needed $90,000 badly enough to commit fraud against their own child. And the wedding was the delivery system, a happy occasion to cover a vault being emptied. But why 90? The second mortgage explained some, not all. Caitlin in her veil, marrying into Easton money, a colder possibility. What if the marriage itself was part of the math? My mother spoke of Julian's family like a drowning person speaks of a boat. I called Marcus. I found it. 90,000. I think the wedding is connected to something bigger. Come home. We start building tonight. Until 2 a.m., we worked. Marcus printed photos, had me write a sworn timeline, pulled out my ledger's 16 years of every dollar I'd given. 230 at 17. Braces, deposits, the totaled car. When they say family doesn't count the cost, they mean you're not allowed to. You kept an honest record. They kept a secret one. A week later, at a bridal luncheon, Caitlin got talkative after 2 wines. Julian's dad is investing in Daddy's new business after the wedding. A real investment. Daddy showed him the books. I kept my face soft. What new business? She waved vaguely. The pieces clicked. My father had no business. He had a hole. And a plan. A $90,000 loan guaranteed by my credit. And an investment from Julian's father secured by a beautiful wedding and fake books. The $50,000 wedding was a stage set to convince the Eastons the Cross family was worth investing in. I funded the set and guaranteed the loan. Caitlin was the bait. I drove home sick. Knowing meant responsibility. Marcus laid it out. The loan application was never signed. If they forge it, that's fraud. And we can prove you froze your credit and refused. The loan is dead. Any agreement you sign under that ambush can be voided for undue influence. I saw the board. They thought I was still the girl who mistook relief for love. They didn't know their loan was a corpse. That I had photographs, a timeline, a lawyer at my table, and ledgers. They were playing a game I'd already won. The dinner invitation came. Elena. A real family dinner. Just us, to clear the air. And some wedding paperwork. Wedding paperwork, the loan wrapped in linen. Friday landed at the edge of the bank's 2-week window. Marcus and I prepared. He drafted a letter on firm letterhead, stating I'd never authorized any loan and any coerced signature would be void. We lead with calm. The night before, Marcus found me in the dark. Tell me something good. He told of our courthouse wedding, the pie. My laugh when the waitress asked if it was an anniversary. I kept you a secret because I was ashamed of them, I said. Tomorrow you stop. Friday came soft and golden. Marcus wore the expensive suit. We parked down the block. I'd go first. Text him one word. Through the window, my mother arranging. My father pacing in 3 unfamiliar sedans. Just us, she'd said. I texted, 3 cars. He replied, I'm close. My mother opened the door radiant. Elena, we're so glad. Behind her, in dim amber light, 3 lawyers with open briefcases. My mother smiled. Don't mind them, just friends of the family, here to help make everything official. They sat me in the good chair. Caitlin was pale, twisting her ring. Julian sat jaw tight. When he caught my eye, he gave a small nod he'd warned his father. For 20 minutes we performed a family. My father told of generous Elena. Generous someone whose boundaries you've removed. Then my mother set down her fork. Elena, we didn't just bring you for dinner. This family has a chance. A lawyer slid a thick document to my plate. A family partnership agreement. Formalizes how we support each other, pools resources for the wedding and your father's venture. I read it slowly. Page 9. Me personally liable for shared family obligations. Broad enough to swallow a $90,000 loan. Pledging my business as collateral. Binding me forever. They'd come to make me property. My mother slid the silver pen across the table. Sign it. Or walk out of this family forever. Under the table, I typed now. Then I folded my hands. Before I sign, there's someone I'd like you to meet. The doorbell rang. My mother frowned. I rose. I'll get it. I opened the door to Marcus in his suit holding a leather folder. He stepped inside like he belonged. Everyone, this is Marcus Webb. My husband. The word landed like a stone. My mother's mouth opened. Caitlin whispered husband. The lawyers went still. Marcus's voice was quiet. Even. Good evening. I'm Elena's attorney and husband. This is a formal notice. My client never authorized any loan, guarantee, or obligation for any family member. Any signature obtained tonight, 3 attorneys, financial threat, sign or walk out forever is exactly the kind of agreement a court voids for coercion. One lawyer said, "This is simply a family agreement. It's a contract pledging her business as collateral for a $90,000 loan. Page 9. Careful what you call simple in front of witnesses. I opened my plain folder. Dad, start with you. He flinched. 3 weeks ago, you asked for my SESN and W-9 for a fake family tax filing. I'm your accountant. This is a loan application from Millerton Community Savings. $90,000. You're the primary borrower. Here's my name, my social, in your handwriting. Graveyard quiet. You put my name on a loan without consent. That's fraud. I won't report you. Caitlin and Mom would be caught, but you will never touch my name or credit again. The bank gets a letter Monday. I turned to my mother. Mask off. $50,000 for a barn and florist. It was never about the wedding. It was a stage to make the Eastons believe we were solvent so Julian's father would invest in Dad's fake business to fill a hole. Julian went rigid. The financials my dad saw? Have an accountant look. They describe a family that exists only on paper. My mother threw a stack of printed pages. Proof you agreed your own words. Years of my texts. Of course I'll help. Don't worry about paying me back. They'd archived my kindness as a legal weapon. The deepest cut. I stacked them neatly. You kept my love as evidence. You looked at the one part of me that loved without conditions and saw a loophole. This isn't proof I owed you. It's proof of exactly who I'm walking away from. Julian stood. My father was going to invest in a fake business based on fake financials. You were going to use my family's money. And use Caitlin. He turned to her. Did you know? No, she whispered. I believe you, but I can't start a marriage in this. If you want to figure out who you are away from them, you know where to find me. He left with his dignity. Caitlin came apart. You used me. I was the bait. You tried to warn me, and I called you jealous. She whispered the old line. It's just money, Elena. Now a question. I said. I thought if I kept paying, you'd keep loving me. I was wrong about the math, too. When you're ready to look honestly, not the family version, call me. Not for money. I'm done with money. But I'll answer. 2 rings. The lead attorney closed his folder. This firm cannot be party to what I've heard. We're withdrawing. My father sat hollow. My mother stood rigid. Levers dead. I gathered my folder, ledgers, printed kindness, and left their agreement on the table. At the door, my mother's last try. If you walk out, you won't have a family. I stopped. Mom, I haven't had a family in a long time. I've had a balance due. I just stopped paying it. I walked into the cool evening air with my husband and 16 years of receipts. The fallout was quiet. Marcus sent the letter Monday. The loan died. Flagged unauthorized. My father didn't fight. Julian's father withdrew instantly. The $50,000 wedding collapsed. I didn't celebrate watching people you once loved caught in their own trap. Is just gravity. Relatives went quiet when the story trickled out. A few apologized. I was done keeping score. Caitlin called 2 months later, not for money. She'd moved, gotten a job, started counseling. I'm trying to learn the difference between being needed and being loved. My whole life in one sentence. And she'd found it herself. We talk sometimes. Honest is all I trust now. My parents and I don't speak. My mother sent a 3-page letter starting with apology, ending asking if I'd help with the second mortgage. I read it once. I didn't reply. Some people show you exactly who they are. The kindest thing is to finally believe them. Marcus and I had dinner the following Friday at the diner with pie. I told the waitress it was our anniversary, and didn't lower my voice when I said his name. The columns finally added up. Not because I'd paid everyone off, but because I'd stopped letting people draw on an account I never opened. The phone still rings. I still let it ring twice. But now when I pick up, it's because I want to. That's the difference between a family and a balance due. Here's what I know. Kindness wasn't the problem. The problem was a family that read my kindness as a balance they could draw forever. The day I closed the account, I didn't lose a family. I realized I'd been carrying one that was never mine. So that's how one quiet sentence emptied a room. The silver pen, 3 lawyers, $90,000 with my name forged across the future. If your love ever came with an invoice, set the boundary before the bill arrives. Tell me in the comments where you finally said no and meant it. Subscribe to Tranquil Drama Stories, hit like, and I'll see you in the next story.